When I first met the piano, it was, I don't remember it actually, but it was probably, my mother played the piano. And as far as I know, we got a piano when I was 2 years old, something like that. And she was playing music by Frédéric Chopin, and I was sitting under the piano listening while she was playing. I guess the first thing I played was I play with one finger like this, and then I think from that I went on to so I understood how the basic thing for boogie woogie works, and that was more or less the music that I started to play. I started at music school when I was 16, and I played quite well, you know. It was my own music. It wasn't jazz, it was more like pop rock, something like that. But they wanted me to play classical music. They wanted me to start playing classical music and also learn how to read, which I didn't know, to read music. And that was really hard for me. I mean, it took a while before I really understood how it works and why you should be able to read music. Before that, I only found it like it's boring, it's stiff, it has nothing to do with music. But now I'm very glad that I did it. I do lots of classical music at home in my private, and it's a lot of fun. It's hard. I mean, I'm not a professional classical player at all. I mean, but I love to play. I love to play those big composers like Beethoven, Bach, Chopin, Mozart. And probably when I improvise together with the trio or as a solo piano player, it's not jazz only. It's music. I mean, I guess Bach, I guess Beethoven, Chopin was a great improviser as well. When you compose, I mean, you can talk about it from two point of views actually. To compose music is to improvise, or to improvise is to compose music. It's more or less the same process, just that when you're composing music, you have more time to think about which note you're choosing. When you improvise, everything is happening right away. Just an example, if I play that is a very complicated rhythm, so it's actually 4 against 3. So what I did when I improvised, I realized more and more now, is using it. You have, I don't know if we're going to be too theoretical here, but you have 16 notes here and you have triplets here. And that's something that comes now and then when I improvise with the trio. Things like that is coming. And I think lots of it come actually from this piece by Chopin. Which is very, I mean, yeah, it's a very nice tune. feelings when I play the piano is, I would describe it as a kind of meditation where you're totally focused on something, on a specific thing. Here you're focused on music. And you try to let go of everything else, just be with the music. So all your thoughts stops, more or less everything stops, and you're totally into that world, into that universe that the music creating. And when you improvise, since you don't know what you're going to play, you have to believe or you have to feel that the music is coming through you. If you start to think, what I'm going to play now, how I'm going to do this, what I'm going to do after this, then you kind of, you break the magic. But if you really just believe that the music is coming and you just play it and you really relax, the music, it feels like the music is just coming through you, and sometimes you're just sitting beside yourself and watching what is happening. So it's very much about letting go of your thoughts, your ideas. Just let the music be the flow. Complicated sometimes. When I'm at home, I have a piano in my basement where I'm working, and when I'm totally into something, and then suddenly something else has happened, you need to go and buy something in the store or something. My kids are telling me, or my wife, and then suddenly you realize, well, yeah, there is this other world as well. And sometimes it's hard, to go between those worlds. But I mean, it's not a big problem at all. It's actually something you get more and more used to. You meditate with the piano or at the piano, and then you do something else. I mean, everything could be that kind of meditation if you do it. But for me, of course, I love music. So, and also being on stage. Since with the trio EST, when we're playing, we never decide anything. It's more or less. We just go up on stage and play. I start playing something, they follow me. We have lots of tunes that we choose from, but no set list, nothing like that. It's just whatever we feel like playing that specific night. And sometimes, of course, after finishing one tune, people are applauding, and then I have no idea, what are we going to do now? And sometimes you can feel, frustrated, and sometimes you can feel, yeah, sure, but it will come. But sometimes we're just sitting there, all three of us, looking at each other, and people start to laugh. And then hopefully the music starts. As a matter of fact, I did. I mean, I met my wife long ago. We've been together for 22 years or something. And I was, deeply in love. I'm still very much in love, but by then I was 19 years old. I had my own apartment, and I was up one night, the whole night, I was playing the piano and recording and thinking of her. And then I sent her a cassette tape with that music. And I think she was really stunned by that and really moved. And she still had that tape. It's very special, and it's crazy music. Music is, for some reason, a very private thing for me. To record is one thing, to play a concert is one thing, but to play, let's say if you have some friends at home and play something for us, I'm very bad at that. I actually hate it. It's not my way of using music, because when when I do music, I totally, as I told you, go into a totally different universe. And if you have a party at home and they want you to play something, okay, so bye-bye. And then I'm in another universe, and then it's so hard to get back. It's not really, when you have friends at home, you want to socialize. Then you shouldn't play music like that. But the thing I did for my wife was, I was alone, I played all this music, recorded it, gave her the tape, and that was it. People used to tell me, you know, or told me I'm talented and so on. To be honest, I don't know if I am. My talent is probably that I'm really stubborn, and I love to practice. Whatever it is, I love to practice. You know, I love to what to say? To make a research on some things. And so I did with the piano, and I spent my whole life on doing it. But I have no idea whether I'm talented or not. I mean, I know people that are really talented. They can just do things, but they never practice. So they're not musicians in that way, but they seem to have a very good ear and so on. Of course, I have some kind of talent, but the basic thing for me is that I've been practicing. I spend lots of time with the piano, so it would be very strange if I couldn't play now. Composing is a very, very important part in my life, something that I've been doing. Actually, that's how I started to play. When me and Magnus, the drummer in EST, we started to play together at the age of 11 years old. And none of us knew how to play. So of course we couldn't play music that already existed. We have to invent our own music. And that was how it started. So for me, it always, you know, went hand in hand, composing, playing. And then through the years, I've been composing lots of music. It's something that it's just, you know, maybe I'm a little, maybe there is my talent a little bit, being a composer, because it's something that just coming, new ideas all the time. And sometimes I don't even have time to take care of all these ideas, because every ideas you really need to take care of it if you're going to create a composition out of it. And sometimes, you know, I feel a bit lazy and I just improvise, because then you don't need to take care of them. That you take care of them while you're playing, but that's it. But to really compose music takes time, at least for me. But it's a very wonderful process, and I can't say it has so much to do with inspiration. It's something that I do every day, constantly. I go down in my basement, I play the piano, sometimes compose a little bit, and then I go and pick up my kids from school, and it's just part of all this for me. I mean, I think the piano is here, but as I said, the piano is here. It's not only here. So you can do lots of things here. You know, it's a whole harp here waiting for you. Let me see if no, it doesn't work on this one, but it doesn't matter. It's a technical thing. If you have 3 pedals, you can do things. But if I do like this, so you can create certain chords, and when you have a 3rd pedal, which you have on most pianos, you can take bigger chords here, press the pedal down, and then you can play a bit wider with it. Because if you just do like this, it's all the notes ringing at the same time. But here I can make my choice. And that's one way of using the piano. You can also do, you know, I always play play the guitar. When I started to play the piano, I also played very much guitar, and I was more or less choosing which instrument I was going to play. And I think this comes, at least for me, it comes from playing the guitar. And of course you have the flageolets as well. Also, if you listen to the reverb you have in the piano, if you just press the pedal and, I mean, it's the best reverb in the world. And then of course I'm using, I don't have anything here, but I used to prepare piano a little bit. Maybe you can use this, my hotel card. Let's say I do here. Do it like this. Sometimes I find some rock music to be actually the music that is really happening today. Some people talking about jazz as the music that really, let's say, takes music forward, but I don't think so anymore. Some jazz do, of course, but there are definitely some very interesting things happening on the rock scene. I'm not that familiar with it. I'm very much into classical music myself at the moment, but for a couple of years ago when we discovered, for example, Radiohead, it was really wonderful. And even a couple of years before that, I was listening a lot to Björk. And they were doing something new. It was great, wonderful music. It really inspired me. So rock is great. You can describe the piano as a piece of furniture. You can describe what it looks like. Normally it's black, it has strings, it has keys. But if you're then going to try to describe the sound, it might get harder. And then if you want to describe the music, it makes it even harder. I mean, how do you describe music? If the aliens would have no experience at all from music, I think it's more or less impossible to describe it. I think that's something that needs to be experienced. It's something that hits me when you're asking that. It's like one of my favorite author wrote something. The world is like a whole library with books. And the human being, we found the library, we found all the books. We also opened them up, we counted the pages, we also saw all these letters and we measured them, we knew. It's on another level, I mean, you can't talk about it.